Howdy y'all. So we had some great feedback. One of the awesome things about being an online intern is you shoot us some suggestions and we're here to make it better for you. So people wanted to get more video footage of the hands-on portion. So I'm going to take you through the beginning portion of class today here in San Diego. If you want to become a trainer, online's great, in person's even better. San Diego, Los Angeles, where great trainers are made. So we got this hunk over here and we're going to go over some rowing. So if you were to set up, let's just talk about the agonist for a row. So what's the main muscle when you pull? Lats, that's the agonist. What's the synergist? Bicep at the elbow. What about the scapula? Good, so you're gonna have your middle traps retracting as well as the rhomboid major and minor. So go through the actions at the joint. So you have the elbow, which is flexion, humerus, extension, and then the scapula retraction. Now the big difference in grip, if I'm going here on a bench press, here in a bench press, the only difference is gonna be the angle that my elbow is going through, right? So closer grip, bench press, what am I working more? Triceps, further, more your chest. But with the row, it's a little different because of the planes of motion. Again, go back to the bench press, transverse, and sagittal. But the row, what plane is this? Sagittal. What plane is this? Transverse. So it's two different ones. You're going through more retraction when you go pronated. So what we want to do is I'm going to show you guys the variations that you can do with the cable row. We'll get into some pull-ups as well. And so start here. This is, always start out light. If you didn't know, this is how I'd set my client up. I'm going to pull first. It's pretty light. I size them up. So come over here and do a couple of these rows, Dave. Okay, so the wider that you go, the bigger the base of support. So this is going to be sagittal. Notice where his hand's going. I like to call it a field goal. Just keep on going. We got the last rib and the ASIS, anterior superior iliac spine. It's going right through there. Now some variations that he can do when you go pronated. Yep. So now what's happening is he's getting a lot more mid-back. I like how he's getting his scap off the back and he's not driving through the trap. You will see sometimes, can you do it wrong? There you go. So he drives through the upper trap first. So what I would do is come back down, there you go, and then have him pull back. This kid's getting some work today. He already ran 1.5 miles. Take a little breather. You'd want to even that out, obviously. But I really like the cable rows because you get a lot of core activation, especially for someone who's pretty strong. So you can go to your other side. And he's a strong kid, so I know he can do this. But when you pull this, you get that activation in your core a lot more, huh? Good, a couple more. And nice. So you don't get that same effect with the dumbbell row. That's why I like doing the cables a lot. So let's set up with the dumbbell now. So again, the big difference, sagittal extension, it's gonna be a lot more lats and biceps. When you go pronated, it's going to be more transverse. Your hand needs to come out more, not to the side. You get the anterior glenohumeral glide. We don't want that. I don't want you coming in. So when you go out, you're going to get a lot more mid-back, mid-trap, lower trap, and also your rhomboid. So let's play around with foot position. So where are you supposed to go with your feet? Okay. So that's where he's going to go. It's perfectly fine. So then you're going to have people say, well, is it right or wrong? Should he go? Let me make sure you can get this full. You're fine. Let's get it down a little bit too. There we go. That's better. So do it again. So I want you to go really wide in your foot. Good. Now bring your foot close to the bench. Even closer. Good. Nice and straight. Sometimes you can even get a stick or a foam roller, and I want to maintain those checkpoints. Head, shoulders, low back. Good. Now, Dave, when you look at the difference between those, which one did you like the most? Okay, why?
Stable.
More stable. Which one are you stronger on? Good. So when you come closer, what happens? more balance. You're going to compromise force, so then don't say right or wrong. Think of it more as first 2 sets, go here, as an out more, sorry. Last 2 sets, come closer in, so you can do 4 total, and you're going to be heavier, stronger, and now it's going to be your more stabilization for your core. But they've done studies looking at it, and we're going to talk about this next week. It was, I believe it was a 6-rep squat, and they compared the core activation to a 20% additional loaded plank. How much you weigh? 165. So 20%, take 16, essentially times it by 2, so say 35 pounds. Put 35 pounds on his back when he's doing a plank. That core activation is the equivalent of doing a 6-rep max on your back squat. And I think people they forget how valuable lifting heavy is. Oh, I need my core to get activated more. Bullshit. Your core is going to get activated more when you're doing a heavy row like that. If you want to feel your core just getting shredded, go heavy on a unilateral exercise. Whether if it's military press, single arm press, a bridge press, you're going to get a lot more activation. So how can you get involved as a trainer? So let's have you do a couple more. So you have them do his rows, and then what you can do is maybe add a little more value by doing the limited elbow, more back pocket like you like to do. So now he's getting his lats a lot more because he's limiting his elbow flexion. Good. And nice, put that down. So now I want you to do it without the bench. There you go. And this is one of my favorite ones, the trainer value add. So I want Dave to put his right hand out. There you go. And then I can give him that resistance. Now I'm getting involved as a trainer. I'm adding that value, and it's significantly harder. Now he has an isometric contraction mid-back, and hold. Nice, good job. So just that little engagement. I'm touching, pushing, I give them a little smack, motivate. Those are the things that can be really helpful long term to keep your clients around. I don't see that enough in the personal training world. I see the trainer sitting here, watching with their pad, maybe their phone, doing it half-assed. Universal trainer pose. Here, or just like that, here. If you see people like this, they look bored. So, we're always thinking of ways where you can become better. How can you get engaged? Notice how I used his name a couple times. Think bigger, but don't compromise force. Unilateral is going to get the core engaged a lot more.